Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is actually an update video. So I will link my previous video in one of these corners wherever it shows up. This is just kind of like a current update. So I had posted a life update video like a week ago, and now I just want to update you guys, let you know how everything's going. Let's start with my pregnancy and baby Jem. We went into the hospital for our scheduled C-section. We tried the ECV to manually turn him, and he would just not budge. He was not turning at all. Thankfully, it didn't cause any issues. He didn't go into any distress. It didn't cause me any issues. So at that point, we're just like, okay, we're going in for the C-section. At that point, you know, I was just ready to be done with my pregnancy. It was very overwhelming in a lot of ways. And so at that point, I was like, I made peace with it. It's not what I wanted to have a second surgery, but I just was so ready to be done with my pregnancy and to meet my baby. And so we went back for that, did the C-section, and he was born September 17th. I can go into more detail about my C-section experience later if you would like that. I'm not going to do it right now because that could be a whole separate video on its own. It's a lot. Everything worked out, but it definitely is its own story time. So Jem is 5 weeks today, and he is doing very well. He did have to spend 4 days in the NICU, and I was in the hospital for 3 days after the C-section, and so they kind of keep Spina Bifida babies just in the NICU at least for a few days, just as routine precaution. He had to have a MRI. They did an ultrasound in his brain. They did ultrasound on his bladder and kidneys. He had to have a VCUG to check his bladder function, and he also had to have a sleep study. So all in all, they just had to, you know, check everything, cross everything, make sure that everything was good. He's okay to come home. It was definitely hard when I got to go home on a Friday evening and I had to wait until Saturday afternoon to bring him home. That night I actually just came home. It was really hard to leave the hospital without him. It's not what I wanted, but I knew he was coming home with me the next day, so I was just, you know, very grateful and thankful about that. So we got to go on Saturday and, you know, wait for all the results and everything to come in, and thankfully he was able to come home. So he's been doing really, really well. He had a follow-up with his pediatrician, and he's already had a physical therapy, and he's also had other follow-ups, and so it's just going to be like that for a year or two. He will have a lot of follow-ups, and they will continue to follow him and monitor him. The main things that they have to look for and monitor obviously will be his brain, his spine. Like, he had that in utero closure. He was fully healed when that was born, like that. There were no issues there. And then of course his feet and also his kidney and bladder. Okay, sorry, I don't know where I left off. I just nursed Jem. So I guess we'll just start talking about him again. So really, he is just doing so wonderful, just in a lot of ways that I'm super grateful for. If you don't know a lot about Spina Bifida, like I did not prior to this, you know, I've learned a lot through it. It has such a wide range of what it can look like. It can be very mild, it can be very severe. Spina Bifida can cause issues with bladder and bowels, being able to regulate that yourself. Obviously, there's brain abnormalities and malformations that can cause, you know, developmental delays and other things, and of course mobility and being able to walk and do things on your own. And so as of right now, he has no really complex issues. You have to monitor his brain in case he would have filled up a fluid in his ventricles. In that case, he would need an ETV or a VP shunt. He is having physical therapy for his feet. He has calcaneus vagus, which is actually the opposite of clubbed feet. So they look pretty normal, they just turn way out. So clubbed feet turn in and down. So his is just different. So it's not like, it's not as common. It's like a variation. It's just like, so I don't know. There are things that he has, but overall he's doing super well. So I just have to be very, very grateful for that and praise the Lord for all of that, because you know, you never want to hear these things about your baby, and you just don't want to see them experience and go through these hard things. And the fact that he already had to have surgery at 25 weeks gestation, just, you know, it's overwhelming. He has full movement from his waist down, moves his legs, curls his toes, so I'm very excited and interested to see what he is going to be able to do when he starts, you know, moving around. And I'm also, if you would like to join me in prayer, I am praying that his ventricles and his brain remain stable and they don't become severe. That way he will not need a shunt in his brain. And of course I'm praying that he will be able to have full bladder and bowel function on his own. I just pray that he really is able to live a healthy, normal life, and I just don't want this disability to define him. As of now, he's exceeded so many expectations, and I just pray that it continues to stay that way. Really, through this whole situation, my faith and my trust in God is really what has gotten me through this, especially if you have watched my previous video, losing my mother-in-law at the same time. It's been a lot. It's been overwhelming. Just, you know, in ways I can't even explain, and things I never thought I would have to go through or deal with. But here we are, and I, you know, have healed pretty well from the C-section, which I was very nervous about, because the other surgery, the recovery for that was just not very fun, especially since I had a growing belly, you know, like I had to continue my pregnancy. I've done really well from healing. Those first 2 weeks were the hardest, I would say, and by the 4th week I really started feeling really good, and now, you know, at 5 weeks I feel pretty good. Obviously my scar still feels kind of weird, but I am not in any pain. I used to have like sharp burning, stabbing, shooting, nerving pain, you know, like nerve pain, not nerving pain. But like, and you know, just that is like really common, you know, after having a C-section, because they're messing with all of that. They cut through and they just don't know like what nerve connections it's going to impact and whatnot. Even though we have both done really well through this, I just pray that he has to have minimal interventions, you know, for the rest of his life. I just pray it's very minimal, minimally invasive. That is just like one thing I feel like as a mother, I just pray that he continues to thrive and we can just see our way out of this, and eventually it'll be, you know, to a point where it's almost like, you know, we look back and we're like, wow, and it doesn't really define our day-to-day, you know. So I'm part of a few Facebook groups where parents share, you know, and rely on each other for support. They have, you know, a child or more with spina bifida, and it's just amazing to see how different it is. Like I said, it's a wide range of what it can look like. And so spina bifida is one of the most common neural tube defects, and unfortunately about 86% of people will choose to terminate their pregnancies when they find out that their baby has spina bifida. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to that is these parents are scared of what the quality of life will look like for their child. And you know, I knew there was absolutely no way I could do that, and I would never want to. I know that, you know, a lot of parents are scared, and I want parents to have hope when their child has something like this. It is scary. And how do you get through it? You just have to rely on support from your family, good friends, from the Lord, and you just have to trust and pray a lot. And that's really what I've done, because there's like no way I could have done it on my own, and I never wanted to walk away from God. But I was very angry and very upset in a lot of ways for a long time. I still question you know, why did it have to happen like this? Like all of this all at once. Like what? But you know, I've kind of moved on from that to just, can it be good now, Lord? I'm praying for goodness and mercy to follow me all the days of my life, and I'm praying for answered prayers. I'm just praying, Lord, that you will continue to hide us in the shadow of your wings and protect us, you know, and continue to bring about Jem's testimony to just be so amazing. And I just really want Jem to be able to share his testimony as he gets older, and I know it's going to be amazing. Like, this is just the start of it, and I just truly feel like it's going to be amazing. So all in all, he's breastfeeding well, he's growing well, there are no concerns. I will definitely keep you guys updated here and there when I can. I am hoping to be able to get back on my channel and just do what I love to do, and, you know, share our life and make videos with my kids, my family, because they love it. They love to watch it back. And so now that we're just kind of settled and we're able to get into more of just like a normal routine day to day, and I'm feeling good again, and you know, as things continue to progress, I would definitely love to continue to share. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely comment down below. And like I said, we will take all the prayers we can get. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for making it through this with me. Thank you for coming alongside of us during this journey. I just really want to share. I feel like it's so important to share about this because a lot of times people don't know. So if you don't know, then you can kind of start to learn, and you can support people in your life that are going through, you know, anything like this, anything that's similar, or just learn to understand, you know, what other people live with. And so it's just one little update I wanted to share. There's a lot of other things I just want to share, you know, and so I will continue to do that as best as I can and show up here on my channel. So yeah, if you guys have any requests or, you know, questions about anything, I am open to answering that, and I will definitely introduce you to Jem at some point. He's with his dad right now, holding him on the couch. I love him so much. There's just something so beautiful about that mother-son bond, and as much as I love my girls, and you know, there's nothing like having a daughter, there's also nothing like having a son, and it's just so amazing and so beautiful, and I truly feel so blessed to be his mother, and thank God for that every day. So that's all I'm gonna share for now. I only have so much time to record and do this, you know, so I am going to work on getting more videos up on my channel, and hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.